how close am I to my destination?
But you see, this alignment that we're talking about is not like a college degree where once you receive your diploma, it's yours forevermore.
Right.
It either is or it isn't in the moment. And so that trip from Phoenix to Yuma, or this train analogy that we're offering, you have the potential in every moment of being really vibrationally far away from where you want to be or being right where you want to be. But you know what your question shows us, and it's all right, it's normal in your physical dumbness, is that what matters to you the most, San Diego in this analogy represents to you, is the manifestation. And we want the manifestation to be yours, but until it doesn't matter whether it is or not, it can't be. And this is why. You've sifted and sorted and you've created a vibrational reality. If you've been following us for a while, you may have read the book, The Vortex, where we're talking about this vibrational reality that you have created. It's where everything that you've asked for is already vibrationally queued up for you, and it's ready to be manifested by you, provided you get on the vibrational frequency, just like the radio station is already broadcasting the song that you want to hear. And just because you don't have your tuner set to it doesn't mean that the broadcast isn't already happening. And it doesn't mean that a fine-tuning, a quick fine-tuning, wouldn't bring you the song instantly into your vehicle or into your house. The broadcast is there, and your ability to translate it into a reality is this far away. But what constitutes the time distance is really how practiced you are at setting your tuner to the receiving mode. And here's the thing. This is the answer that we really want you to hear. When you get really good at setting your tuner to the receiving mode so that you're translating so much of what you want so often, moment by moment by moment by moment by moment, then those big desires that you hold, that you want us to tell you how close you are to the manifestation of, become irrelevant to you because it's just one good moment after another good moment after another good moment. And the truth of it is, you could be out in the middle of something that you would call the desert, meaning the absence of the oasis that you're looking for in terms of the manifestation, but you're having a glorious time. This is the conversation that we have with our physical friends all the time, because most of you, we love you so much, most of you, we love you so much, but most of you, we love you so much, want the manifestation and you want it now. And so we get sideways in what you want for you and what we want for you, because while we want the manifestation too, we don't want the manifestation the most. What we want the most is the open valve, so that you're constantly, not just sporadically, constantly, so that you're constantly in the receiving mode where you're constantly able to translate into thoughts and words and experiences this vibrational reality that's ripe and ready for you to translate it. So a question like, when am I going to get there, keeps you from ever getting there, because you're focused upon the absence of what you want. Now stay with us just a little bit. You following us so far? The thing that keeps you from being all the way to where you want to be is your awareness of where you are. Someone gave Esther the most wonderful gift, and she lost track of it. She thought she'd left it one place and she couldn't find it, and she looked for it and looked for it and looked for it and looked for it and looked for it. In her office in Texas, she has a closet that's all drawers, file cabinets. It's behind a door, so she really likes that, because she doesn't like her mess out around her. She likes her mess in there where no one can see it. And in this closet there are 3 big files this way, and 3 big files this way, and 3 big files this way. And she has opened every one of those 9 drawers 100 times looking for this. And then she finally just gave it up. She started telling everyone, I've lost it. I don't know where I left it. I've looked everywhere that I can think to look. I cannot find it. And the other day, after about 6 months of looking for it, she opened the bottom drawer and there it was. Now, her natural assumption was someone was hiding it and they put it there. Someone hid that from me. They're just playing games with me, because there it is in plain view, right where I've looked over and 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 over again. It seems illogical. In other words, she thinks that you should commit her to the insane asylum, because this is a drawer she's looked in and it was right there. It was in plain view. It was in plain view, and it's big. It's a iPad, MacBook Pro, big. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big, and it doesn't look like anything else she has. It's big. It's big. It's big, and it was right there. So if Esther can have an experience where she believes that something is lost because it wasn't where she first looked, she thought she left it over there, and when she looked over there, it wasn't there. And so the fact that it wasn't there, she put an engine on her. It's not there. It's not there. And then she looked over there and it wasn't there either. And she put another engine. Then she looked over there and it wasn't there either. She looked so many places where it wasn't that she decided it was lost. And her belief that it was lost was so strong. Her belief that it was lost was much stronger than her desire that it was found. Oh, interesting. Her belief that it was lost was so much stronger than her desire that it was found. Truth was, she didn't really need it. Truth was, she had so many things in her suitcase already she couldn't lift it into the overhead bin. So she had gone on a trip and had decided not to take it because she didn't really need it. And so in the absence of desire, when she came back, the absence of desire was still there. It wasn't something that she had asked for. It wasn't something that she wanted. It was just something really nice that someone gave to her. So in absence of desire, that belief really held strong. This is really worth thinking about, isn't it? So what do you think constitutes the majority of your beliefs? What is? You look around and you see that, so you believe it. You see that, so you believe it. You see that, and so you believe it. So you see your bank account and you believe it. You see your credit limit and you believe it. You see the bills coming in, you believe it. Reality is so believable because you're translating it through your physical senses. And most people would call it completely illogical for you to believe something that hasn't already manifested. They would call you delusional. They would say, hey man, you've got to face reality. And they don't understand it when you say, I'm not facing reality, I'm creating reality, because most people are recreating the reality that they're facing. In other words, you just face it and recreate it and face it and recreate it until you get so many beliefs that are so powerful that even when something's right before your eyes, you still can't see it, because vibrationally you're incapable of seeing something that opposes the dominant vibration that you've been flowing. So what's the answer? How can you change what is to something that you would prefer? First of all, you got to stop looking so much at what is, because every time you look at it, you compound it more. Every time Esther said, I can't find it, 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 it made it less findable. So how'd she find it? She forgot about it. She gave up on it. She stopped looking for it. And then one day she thought, you know what I'd really like? I'd really like one of those big iPads. And within a minute, she had found it. So she suspended all of her belief that it was lost by taking her attention away from it long enough that it wasn't active. And when the slightest little desire was active within her, she went right to it. It happened to her. So she believes us. So when you say, how far am I from what I want? We say, let's not talk about distance. Every analogy is flawed a little bit. That's the flaw in the analogy of Phoenix, Yuma, San Diego. That's the flaw in that analogy. Because how far am I from the manifestation of what I want isn't about distance. And it isn't about time either. It's about vibration. And if it's about vibration, then the only way you can translate it into anything relative means it's about emotion. So how far you are from anything means how good or not good you feel about it, period. So if you say, I'm joyful about this, you're right on the doorstep of its unfolding. If you say, I'm pensive about it, or I'm worried about it, or I'm guilty about it, or I'm lonely about it, or I'm disappointed about it, then you're far. But not in terms of distance or time, in terms of vibration. And the thing about understanding that you're only vibrationally far away from it, only emotionally far away from it, is that you can go to sleep at night and, hear this. When you go to sleep at night, all the engines go to sleep too. All momentum stops. And when you wake up in the morning, you're on this neutral track where you get to decide how far you are from what you want. So start out. Cautiously isn't the right word. Deliberately is a better word. How far away from a good thought am I is the thought that you want to have when you wake up. Because if you wake up and you start complaining right away about what went wrong yesterday, then you're far away again. But if you wake up and you're looking for a reason to feel good, then you're warmer. If you look for another reason to feel good, then you're warmer. Look for another reason, and then you've got momentum going, and then there's no distance. And then you're having good ideas. That translation of a vibration to a thought and a thought to a thing, when that idea occurs to you, this is the process of it unfolding. Do you know how much has already happened before there is a manifestation? Almost all of it. So when you say, how close am I? When you or anyone, when any of you has a desire that you want to manifest, and you say, how close am I to this manifestation? We say, well, it's 99.99% done. That's how close you are. Wow. That's how close you are to everything that you want. And you know why we say that? Because we know how long you've lived. We know what your intentions were that you set forward before you even got into this physical body. We know how much life you've lived and how much you put into the vortex and how much that vortex has gathered, how law of attraction has gathered it all. And we know everything that has happened, all queued up, ready for you to realize it by tuning to the right frequency. So it's just this one tiny little infinitesimal percentage-wise piece that you are wanting to tap into. So when you say, how close am I? We say, it's 99.99% done. But you could hold yourself in that undoneness forever. Just this one little piece that has to come into place. Just this one little piece. You just got to get into the receiving mode, which means you've got to stop complaining, and you've got to stop worrying, and you've got to stop focusing on what doesn't work. You've got to stop stacking those train engines up that are pulling you in opposition, that are making you incapable of being in the receptive mode to receive the next clue and the next clue and the next clue. So it's not about distance. You believe that? And it's not about time. Do you believe that? It is about vibration. Do you believe that? If it's about vibration, then it's about emotion. So if you can get your emotion moving in that joyful direction on any subject, then that last piece of it, and the time factor will be now. The time factor will be right now, right now, right now.